When you understand the story behind this celebration from Lamine Yamal, the nonchalant gimmick, the hand on chin, with the short sag, it just makes it 100 times better. Because for whatever reason, Van der Vaart, someone that is nearly triple the age of Lamine Yamal, decided to come out and criticize him for absolutely zero reason. He said, I noticed some things about Lamine Yamal that started to bother me a bit. His shorts were a bit too low. He didn't try too hard. He had some superficial gestures. If you're so young, you should be happy for every minute you play for Spain. You have to show it. First of all, why is a 42-year-old grown-ass man looking at how low a 17-year-old kid's shorts is? Second of all, did he not learn anything from Adrien Rabiot a year ago? Because this is exactly what Lamine Yamal posted on his Instagram story a few hours ago after what Van der Vaart said. On a mission, he put the question emoji and the smirking emoji. The goal that he scored today to shut that absolute clown, that first touch on the run, was practically a carbon copy of Lionel Messi's touch versus Nigeria in the 2018 World Cup. And he takes on his man, he cuts inside. And finally, Yamal with a perfect finish into that bottom left-hand corner. And then that celebration to just rub the salt into the wounds for Van der Vaart. He made sure his shorts were low, just so Van der Vaart could see it. Now, to be fair, he might have taken the nonchalant gimmick a bit too far with that penalty, but who cares? Spain qualify. Then you can play devil's advocate and say, without Yamal's goal, they wouldn't even get into the penalty shootout and they would have lost. If there's one thing you need to take from this, if you guys didn't learn from Adrien Rabiot, learn it from Van der Vaart. Just stop chatting on this guy's name.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hit the subscription button, tell a friend to tell a friend. So I've always said this in my previous videos that not every former footballer can make it as a good football pundit. I've always said this. If you've been watching my videos, I've been criticizing like these football pundits, especially in these mainstream medias in Europe, because I feel like football is quite good, but then pundits are making football look terrible because how they analyze the game. I always say this: not every footballer, not everybody that played football knows how to analyze the game. Not everybody that played football knows how to talk about the game, pre-match or post-match. I've always said this, and I feel like it's time I need to talk about it again because so recently Van der Vaart was one of the pundits, and they were analyzing the game of Spain against Netherlands. Of course, Van der Vaart, if you don't know Van der Vaart played for Tottenham hotspurs. I think he scored 24 goals for Tottenham hotspurs, and he's right now retired. He comes from Netherlands. I think right now he's like 42-year-old, I think. So he talked some. I think these people who always go to these mainstream medias to act like pundits, to act like they know ball. The likes of Jamie Carragher, the likes of right now Van der Vaart, and sometimes I always have problems with the likes of Roy Keane because you remember sometimes Roy Keane, I think he criticized Madison. I don't know what Madison did. I can't recall the exact story, but I think at some point he criticized Madison, and James Madison did the same thing that Lamine Yamal did to Van der Vaart because James Madison scored a goal against Manchester United. Of course, Roy Keane is a former Manchester United player. He scored a goal against Manchester United, and he did a celebration, mocking Roy Keane. And a lot of people had problem with that. I didn't see any problem with that because as a football pundit, you need to analyze the game. Don't analyze the players. This is what I think making this punditry job look stupid right now because these people always go there to discuss players. You don't need to discuss players. Discuss the game. Discuss what these players can do to make their game look nice than how it is right now. I think that's whatever this pundit needs to do. Not going there and discuss a certain player. Not going there and discuss a certain coach. And if you wanna know that this pundit's job always bullshit and bias, I don't watch pundits, and I don't believe in them because I always feel like when you look at when these pundits are talking and maybe when Ole Gunnar was Manchester United manager, you couldn't hear the likes of Roy Keane mocking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You couldn't hear the likes of Gary Neville mocking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But when it's Erik Ten Hag's time, you hear them talking bad things about Erik Ten Hag. You hear them talking bad things about Ruben Amorim, left, right, and center. When Frank Lampard was Chelsea manager, you couldn't hear like these former players bashing him when they are doing their punditry jobs. But when Thomas Tuchel was Chelsea manager, and when maybe Antonio Conte was Chelsea manager, you all the time they keeps on criticizing the manager, saying that the team is losing because of the manager. But when the former player is the manager, you hear them saying that you need to give them time. And now they don't criticize the manager. They pick up one certain player and then they talk about him. So I always don't like this pundits, because I feel like they're making the game look stupid, and they are brainwashing a lot of people, because a lot of people are always watching mainstream medias, and when you're watching mainstream media, you're hearing whatever Jamie Carragher says, you're hearing whatever Gary Neville says, you're hearing whatever name them, all these likes of former players who always go there to call themselves pundits, forgetting that's their view of the game. You also have your view of the game. So I feel like these pundits, I don't like them. Even when I recall this story of when Jamie Carragher said that AFCON is not a major tournament, I felt like that was awful for someone like Jamie Carragher to go in a mainstream media and say something like that. Or sometimes they just need numbers. You can need numbers, and you can get numbers through different talks, rather than saying things that hurt a lot of people, rather than saying things that are not making sense. So coming back to this Van der Vaart story. So Van der Vaart was doing the punditry job, and of course, he was analyzing the Spain versus Netherlands game. So Lamine Yamal is a Spain player, youngster, good player. So he criticized Lamine Yamal and saying that he don't like how Lamine Yamal wears his pants. Uh, he don't like how Lamine Yamal lowers his pants down and sagging and stuff. So I even wonder how you're a pundit. You're going there to analyze the game. How is like a player maybe sagging his short uh, is a problem to you? How is that a problem to you? I don't see that. I don't see that as a problem to Van der Vaart, because he's there to analyze the game. He's there to talk about the lineup. He's there to talk about the first half and the second half of the game. Why are you talking about the specific player? Why are you picking the specific player and start saying that I don't like this player because he's doing this. I don't like this player because he's doing this. And I used to see these cases of pundits going into these mainstream medias and start criticizing players like Paul Pogba. I don't like how Paul Pogba hairstyle looks like. I don't like how Cristiano Ronaldo long sleeves look like. You don't need to do that. Your job is to analyze the game. Don't analyze the personal player. Don't do don't go there and start criticizing a personal player. I know a lot of people have that different opinions, and it's good. But then it's so good going into a mainstream media and start analyzing. You are not called there to talk about one specific player, because if you are to be called there to talk about one specific player, then I think that would be quite good, because you are sticking to the topic. But then you are called there to analyze the game. It's Spain versus Netherlands. It's not Lamine Yamal versus maybe Memphis Depay. It's not Lamine Yamal versus Van Dijk. It's Spain versus Netherlands. This is not boxing, where you analyze Lamine Yamal versus Van Dijk. This is Spain versus Netherlands. It's a football match. You need to talk about uh, all-round first 11s of both clubs, and then you are going there and criticizing one player, is saying how you don't like his pants, saying how he needs to show up more in Spain squad. You had a chance to show up in Netherlands squad. I don't know why he didn't do that. And of course, Lamine Yamal posted on his Instagram account that he's on a mission, and on that game he scored a goal. And when celebrating, he also mocked Van der Vaart. So I think Lamine Yamal did a good job, because I felt like Van der Vaart was wrong. You can't go somewhere and talk about a certain player when you are being called there to talk about Spain versus Netherlands. You are called there to talk about Spain versus Netherlands, not Lamine Yamal. So I think Lamine Yamal got a quite good reply to Van de Vet, and it's quite good. And before I wrap it up, Ferran Torres had something to say about this one. Check it out.
Ferran Torres, what have I just read? Because on Lamine Yamal's post on his official Instagram account, Ferran Torres just commented, "Lower them down a little more, please." Heart emoji and a hand emoji. And now, if you guys don't know the context to it already, I made a video on my main account, but here is a little summary. Van der Vaart was talking about how Yamal's shorts are always down and he doesn't like it. Yamal then proceeds to go and score a goal against Netherlands, and he put in his caption, "Pants down, I scored the goal, missed a penalty." Ferran Torres on that post commented, "Lower them down a little more, please," talking about Lamine Yamal's shorts. But all jokes aside, he's not being serious. I mean, I hope so. But it's nice to see that the Barcelona players are supporting each other. For whatever reason, Rafael van der Vaart was just trying to pick on him. They don't understand Yamal is still a kid. But player like Ferran Torres coming out supporting him, just trolling Van der Vaart, is good to see. Like I said before, Ferran, I hope this isn't true for your own sake.
So I think I'm quite happy how Ferran Torres supported his fellow player, Lamine Yamal, and he told him to lower the pants more down. So in short, he was also mocking whatever Van der Vaart said. So I think it's quite good. And I think right now I'm understanding that Yamal is not rude, and he just has a quite strong personality, because this is a strong personality. Lamine Yamal is one of the players that is always being criticized on social media, but then he has always been, having high self-esteem, going back to back with these haters, and how he did it to Mickey Van de Vet, I think that was quite a good reply. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Lamine Yamal should change his character, how Van der Vaart wants? All these pundits needs to focus on their jobs, because I feel like it's time for pundits to focus on their jobs and focus on the reason why they are being called there, to talk about the game, not to talk about the players. So tell me what you think about this one in the comment section. And the last thing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend.